How's my
So here we are. You're
How's my
good.
hair? Do I look lovely?
You're looking great, John. Here we are at EQ Studios.
Hello, everyone.
Here is the wonderful John Hamilton, producer extraordinaire, artist, musician.
Get a bucket, I'll show you how I can walk in water.
Yeah, we're here at EQ Studios.
Yes.
And I'm in the hot seat here. And
Yes.
we're working on the, well, we're just finishing.
We've just mastered the album. And,
Lease of Life.
And Lease of Life. And we've had lots of fun getting different levels set, getting the up-tempo ones a wee bit more uppity than the ballads, getting crossfades going so we keep the impetus of the album going, and just generally having tons of fun with it.
Brilliant. And let's just have a quick recap very briefly on a couple of tracks that we've heard already, John.
Okay.
Let's just hear it just a second or two of, because the album begins with, and just before it plays actually, the first song is In Life,
Yeah.
which is pretty much just talking about the whole journey of life. So let's hear a second or two of that. No, I think it's sounding good.
Okay.
Yeah.
Some say it's much too late. Some say choice of
I mean, I'm really pleased with this one, production-wise.
Lovely.
So that's Lease of Life. We'll jump to the second track now. We've auditioned the first two, but let's hear again. The second track is Get Back Up Again.
Yeah, very deceptive beginning because it's all kind of floating,
Yes.
lovely.
Yeah.
But this one, I think, has got the sneakiest little piano riff. Just that little cat, cat, cat.
Oh, yeah,
There we
keeping
are.
it going.
Yeah. He's falling.
Cool.
I love this.
Yeah. Yeah.
Love it.
Yeah. Yeah. And then I love this bit. Yeah.
Tears fell pouring down the rain. I felt so cold and know like I was dead. Then I heard a voice inside that said, gotta get back up and live your life.
Should we take this toward the end of this particular track, and then we'll hear it as we head toward the end.
Thunder, lightning pouring down with rain.
And this one,
Tears to
chords.
The next one is Take Flight.
Yeah.
And what we've been doing is we've been mastering and just getting the levels of them right as we put the album together. And I particularly love this moment between this song and the next number. Let's see it. Oh, which I was expecting another number. No, so this is Take Flight. No, it's right.
Is this
No, it's
right?
right. No, it's absolutely right. So this is, yeah. So this is Take Flight, and interestingly, this was the first. I don't know if you remember. Let's cut it down a little bit. But this is the. Do you remember? This was actually the first of this set of songs that we worked on.
Back in '95.
No. This is probably about 2012. But I think for me, this one was. I think for me, this one was a bit of a challenge because I was very mindful with this one. I wanted something a bit more contemporary than some of the stuff I'd done up until then. And selecting samples and working with that and the song I found quite interesting. And later on I found, during this collection, I found that process far easier than the very first time with this song. I don't know.
Yeah, no, I get that. I mean, the whole thing is a learning curve. It's both of us learning the potential of the room. Although I've worked in this room for many years, keep discovering things, and the process of discovery in your case has always made a lot easier. You're a great catalyst, and I find out things about the gear and myself through working with you, which is not normal. I touched on this earlier with you when I was talking on this. It's enabled us to come up with some pretty good thoughts and ideas on sound, you know?
Yeah.
Lovely.
I mean, it's interesting with this one. If I could just hand it down just a little bit. But for me, I think with this one, it's interesting where a song starts out from. And I think for me with this particular song, it was that thought of movement. You know, when you're just wanting to create some kind of movement. So it's called Take Flight. And so for me, the whole collection is, as with most of the stuff, a set of songs about the human condition. But I think this is that moment where somebody's, as the songs that time to pack my things to go, somebody wanting to make some kind of shift.
Yep.
And so it's kind of, and originally actually I think my intention was to probably start the collection with this.
Yep.
But I think for me it was actually just starting the writing process with this particular song. And it's quite interesting. It's the one that I feel as though I've travelled quite a long distance, ironically, from this particular song, but it's
Yes.
quite nice to
Yep.
revisit.
Oh, definitely. I love revisiting the ones because there's always something in them. You know, you might think, yeah, we've come away since that song, but there's still something in that song. And you go, that's lovely. It really works.
Yeah, and it's quite interesting that already we've had 3 up-tempo songs, but they're all quite different to each other.
Very much so.
Stars that shine where the sun rises. Take flight. We're gonna be with you every night. Take flight.
I always love the effect at the end of Club Tropicana by Wham, and that was inspired by that a little bit. But I love this one, Something Good.
Beautiful song.
I'm trying to remember, John, with this number, how we went about constructing this particular song.
I remember it was quite a tricky one because I was having trouble getting my head around the grooves.
Right.
But I think you might have played the bass
Yeah.
and this one.
Right.
Because I remember it. And now here I'm going, oh, it's lovely. But I seem to remember getting about what's happening.
For me, this one was brave because I wanted something to sing a song pretty much all in falsetto. But I also knew the vibe that I wanted the song to have, which we've absolutely captured. And yeah, I just feel it's quite different to everything else. But it's not out of place with everything else in the collection. I think that's always the exciting challenge when you're putting together a set of songs, really. But I'm really pleased with this one. Really pleased with it.
Lovely bass.
And I like this bit about how this song evolves. So then you'll soon hear coming in this today what we've been doing is, now that the songs are done, complete, just getting the levels right, double checking the order, and the gaps in between them, and how they fold and relate together. I love the usage toward the end of the song now. I really like the treatment you've given the bass here and the guitar and the vocal. Nice job on the vocal production. One thing I was really clear about when we finished the songs, that the next song, Disappointment Guaranteed, had to follow something good.
This one with interesting fade.
Yeah, here we go.
It's lovely. Yeah, great fade.
Yeah. And the story behind this song, and I'm really proud of this song because I think this is one of the few times I wrote the song in the wee small hours of the morning of being already booked to come in here to the studio. And I knew that this was a good song. And in fact, I wrote 2 songs that night. And this one, I just knew was something special. And we came in here and we worked on it. And I can't remember much about it, but it was one of those times when we worked on something. And I think the whole thing came together very, very quickly. I mean, I don't know what your remembrance is about.
Well, I remember this was.
I've done a bit. I've done it. Yeah.
I remember this one was really, once we get into it was quite easy. It sort of flowed.
Yeah.
And I can hear that actually from the backing. There's an easiness to it. There's a bump up on the bass thing,
Right.
and that's a little motif.
You know, you know what's also interesting to me about this one is that for me personally, I think this is collaboration at its best, because I think for me that when somebody can kind of hear what's in your head and the bits that aren't quite musically that I don't hear in my head,
Yep.
but you can capture that. For me, that's quite extraordinary. And I always love, by the time, particularly in the ballads, when you get onto layering the strings and so on.
Yep.
I really am proud of this song. I think it's a lovely piece, and I think it's worth us telling up in a second, because this is a magical moment which I can take no credit for, which is your road style
Oh yeah, the piano.
piano. Yeah. Now, I don't know what you remember about playing this, because I remember that we'd worked on something, and you just turned over here to the piano, and you just played it, one take.
Really?
One take. One take. And yeah, for me this is one of my favourite songs. In fact, with this song, it actually reminds me of some of the very earliest songs I ever wrote. And the thing I'm quite pleased about with this, for me vocally, is that it's one of the best uses of the chest voice and the head voice,
Yep.
where I'm convincing, because obviously I'm a baritone,
Yep.
and I'm very proud of this. This as an all-round performance. It's a really, and the drums, the congas.
Yeah.
No, really pleased about this number. And I think it's interesting with this. You know, I find that when you're into working on a collection of songs, by the time we've got to this song, well, this is probably maybe recorded about halfway through, you're into this space of, you're just working with all these different songs,
Yes.
which over a period of time will begin to have a shape
Yes.
to them. But yeah, this one I'm very dear to me. And again, these end touches here, John, that are coming up here, this really lovely, this outro again.
Very atmospheric.
Yeah, that mood of the melancholy is spot on, isn't it, for this song? Yeah. And toward the end, one of the things that often happens, the strings that you did, I love so much. I'm like, John, we've got to end with the strings here, this lovely string sequence.
Samuel Barber. It sounds like Adagio for strings for Samuel Barber.
Yeah. Which is one of my favourite pieces.
Yeah, beautiful.
Yeah. So that's part one of the album. I'm going to pause the camera there, and then I'm going to talk a little bit about, we'll talk a little bit about part two.